We live in a world where motivation is rare, where passion is fleeting, where people don't look to work, where people don't look to grind. It's time to change that.
Wait, let me start recording this one too.
Okay.
Go like that?
All right. Yep. 3, 2, 1.
I'm Sean Harris. I work as a strength coach here at Omega Strong Gym in Phoenix, Arizona.
How long have you been at Omega now for?
So I first started lifting at Omega back in November of 2017, so not too long ago. It was right before I was about to go home for, I think, Thanksgiving, and a friend of mine that I met at the gym I worked at, I actually saw it on his Instagram page, and I was like, oh, what the heck is this place? Because I've been in like working out in a corporate gym for just about the entire time I've been working out, and I was kind of looking for something different, whatever that might be. And I saw it, and I was like immediately intrigued by it. So I like within like seconds of seeing this video of Omega Strong on this guy's story, I sent them a DM. So, and they got back to me. I asked if I could work out there. Came in, met David the first day, shook his hand, and he asked me how I liked it, and I said, where do I sign up? And that's pretty much how I got started here.
Cool. How long have you been training now for?
Training in general, I started lifting weights or, exercising back in like 7th or 8th grade. I'd follow my dad to the gym because he was a pretty active guy, and pretty much just follow him around, and that carried over into high school, training for whatever sport I was in at that time. I didn't exactly know what I was doing at that time, but I did my best. I did a lot of bench press, I did a lot of curls, but that was the beginning for me. Carried over into college where I started to get more serious about it. I actually had a short stint trying to play college baseball, but really that's when I started to take it seriously, starting to learn how to do it. When my team had a real strength coach there, and I learned a lot there. And after I stopped playing baseball, it just became almost an obsession for me, once I got out of sports, to really let this take over my life. And I love it, and I'm still doing it, and still loving it.
Awesome. Let's go back to high school a little bit.
Sure.
What kind of sports did you play in high school?
Primarily baseball. I played football for a little while, my freshman and sophomore year. But baseball, I love baseball. I still keep in close touch with all my teammates from high school. Those guys are my best friends. But yeah, I still love baseball to this day.
So knowing what you do now, what would you have improved on the strength training back in high school?
Oh, everything. Everything. I had no idea between like the correlation of your general strength, carrying over to performance on the field. I just figured, hey, I know that curls are for your biceps, and biceps are good, right? But that's really the extent of my knowledge at that point. Now, man, I would be trying to make myself as strong as I could possibly be, trying to keep my shoulders healthy, and really just trying to become a better athlete overall. Trying to, pretty much what I'm doing now, I would have been doing then.
Mm-hmm. So now, what is your why?
My why? Well, personally, I need to stay in shape. As a guy who's in the military, it's just not practical for me to be out of shape. It's just not a way for me to be a valued member of my team in that way. Another reason why is because it's just something that's extremely therapeutic for me. It has been since I really started taking it seriously and like doing my own research on it, and being in team sports all my life, I never really had the chance to kind of put my headphones on and like do me. And that's really what I found when I started lifting weights, when I found out like how I can change like your body. You can become faster, you can become stronger, and that was so fascinating to me, and it still is. And so I'm always trying to figure out a way to do that now with myself.
What branch of the military do you serve in?
I'm in the Marine Corps Reserves, and so I have my drill once a month, and I'm just train, and it can be kind of fun at times. Leave it at that.
Why did you get started in the military? Why did you enlist?
Well, I grew up in a family of like older men who a lot of were Marines, and it was kind of something that was always not encouraged, but it was like, hey, you're gonna be a Marine when you grow up. And so I was always infatuated with the idea of it when I was younger. And when I decided that I was gonna stop pursuing baseball as my main focus, it seemed like the right time in my life to kind of make that jump. And I think I've learned a lot from it. I think that it's taught me a lot about how to live my life and what I really want in life. And it's also just put me in a lot of situations and a lot of places where I'd never think I'd be, and I think I'm all the better for it, on the other end of it.
So why are you passionate about what you do in the gym? From training to your actual training yourself, from training people?
From training people, man, it's extremely rewarding to see somebody who, came to you kind of timid and unsure of, what they're getting into, especially somebody who hasn't really experienced what it's like to, whether it's lift weights or, do any kind of exercise. But it's extremely rewarding to see their confidence grow as their body changes, as they get stronger, and you can just see this like glow about them after a good workout, because they know at a certain point that hard work is now turning into results. It's like incredible, and it reminds me of like when I first started training and how like cool that was for me, seeing that, wow, I have the power to change this, and there's still a lot of people out there that don't know, that you can look however you want to look, and you can be however strong you want to be if you're willing to put the time in. So when they get when they get concrete evidence of that, it's pretty special for me to see and be a part of that.
That's awesome. So for yourself, why are you passionate about lifting?
Well, like I said before, at this point, it's practical for me to be in shape. I feel like I need to be. But aside from that, it's just something that I like to do, and I find that a lot of the times after, something might not go my way in life, or I, just don't like the kind of situations I'm in, it's an unchanging thing in my life. It stays consistent, and it's one of those things where you're gonna get in, or you're gonna get out of it as much as you put in. So it's really just something that's always been very, like I said, therapeutic, and it makes me feel good.
So right now, what are your goals long term?
Long term? Oh man, I got a lot. So I do want to take, because right now I don't consider myself a powerlifter necessarily. I do incorporate a ton of powerlifting. It's where a lot of my focus has been in the last few months. But I do want to do things that most people would not be able to do, just from like an athletic standpoint, and being in exceptional shape as well as being noticeably strong. So I just want to mix in a little bit of everything and see where it takes me.
Cool. What excites you most when you think about powerlifting?
When I think about powerlifting, oh man, I think that it's the exhilaration that has really gotten me into the powerlifting aspect of it, because as somebody who might go into the gym and you might do a squat, but you might only do this percentage of a squat, you might do 3 sets of 10 or whatever it may be. But if you're doing a heavy set of squats, and you're really trying to push the envelope, I don't think there's too many things that you can do in the gym that'll give you that same kind of rush, you know what I mean? So I think that's what's really made me really start to enjoy powerlifting. It gets your adrenaline going, and it's kind of, not a whole lot of things will give you that all or nothing feeling quite like doing a big lift will.
Just a couple more questions. Other than what you're doing now with the weight training, what other types of training have you done in the past?
So in the past, I started out, training for baseball. At that point, I was still doing, I was doing a lot of squats. We did some bench press training for baseball. We did a lot of plyometric things, like jumps and some exercises to strengthen our posterior chain. After I got out of baseball, it really just transitioned to full on like Arnold Encyclopedia bodybuilding style training, you know what I mean? Just trying to get a pump, you know, feeling good, trying to look good. And you know, that lasted for a while. I got really into that for a while. And again, I think that's really when I started to get addicted to training, is when I found out how I could change my body and like I was capable of these things, you know? But yeah, before that it was mostly those two. In the Marines, you know, I've had to train for like long hikes, long runs, doing a lot of pull-ups, doing a lot of sit-ups, you know, whatever it may be. So there's a lot of things that I've had to train for in order to keep myself, you know, in the shape I feel like I need to be in.
And then last question to wrap this up. Mentally, what does lifting do for you? What does training do for you?
Training is a release for me because, you know, for those that know me well and have like spent time with me, I can be a pretty easygoing guy, but to a lot of people, I don't talk too much, you know, and it's something that I've learned about myself, and you know, those that are really close to me will tell me is that I internalize a lot of things. I'm an introverted person, and really I think I'm not angry, but when you internalize a lot of things and you do more listening than talking, I feel like you just need some way to release that energy, and lifting has been that for me over the last, you know, few years.
Awesome. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I mean, if you're in the Phoenix area, come check out Omega Strong Gym, and you'll have a great time.
Cool. Thank you.
All right.
Sweet baby Jesus.
That was so bad.